From Radio DePaul, Chicago's college connection.
My father spent 3 years restoring this car. It is his love. It is his passion.
I'm Michael Cera, and human skin is my passion.
I learned to feel things I'd never felt before. Love, jealousy, passion for disemboweling.
Look at all the passion on that wall.
Well, jazz flute has always been a small passion of mine.
It's a bathroom.
It's not just a bathroom, David. It's a passion project.
My passion project. Destroying someone else's passion project.
This is Passion Project with your host, Peyton Baisden.
Well, look who it is. Coming back again, coming around. It's you, the listener, nay, the viewer, nay, both, depending on how many times you watch all of these episodes and on what platform we're on, YouTube, Spotify. And that's it. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Passion Project. It's been my promise this season to do what I consider a generational all-star run of guests. And to continue that, not only have I brought another guest, which is crucial to having an all-star run of guests, this person may be one of the most anticipated in the show's history. We've been planning this since the fall, at least.
I think so.
Months in the making. My people have been reaching out every quarter. It's like, hey, can we get Ryan on the show? We got to get Ryan on the show. And it's always been like, well, the schedule is the schedule, all that stuff. And but then this guy, the man himself came to me. He sat me down. He said, Peyton, come springtime, I think I'll be free. I think we can find a time to make this work. And ladies and gentlemen, that time is right now. Everybody, please welcome to the show, honored guest, Ryan.
Peyton, thank you so much for having me today. It's been a long time coming. I remember, was it the fall? We were talking in the hallway, talking about we need to get this thing going. Mm-hmm. And then, job after weekends are full. Mm-hmm. Here we are. It's like May now?
Oh my God, it's May.
It's May. It's like 5 months. Hey, we're here today. Mm-hmm. That's what really matters.
Exactly.
So, yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. I am so glad you're here because not only do, one of the most interesting people I know, truly a mind for the ages, a phenomenally passionate person.
That's right.
Which is always a great fit for this show. And we want to get the audience to know you a little better.
Of course.
So they can get inside the mind of this person who I've gotten to know and appreciate. So when you expound upon your passion later, they'll be like, wow, this guy knows what he's talking about. This guy's really smart. So that brings us into arguably the best segment created for any show ever, probably, the Passion Probe. I'm going to send you some softballs.
All right.
I'm going to send you some easy ones. These are simply matters of opinion. That means you cannot give a right or wrong answer.
Okay.
But you can give an answer I agree with or an answer I disagree with.
Of course. Only fitting.
Yes. Your first question, Ryan, are you a prefer of cats or dogs?
Okay. So I have a dog right now,
mm-hmm.
and I'm also allergic to cats. But I am quite fond of cats.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you two answers here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you dog A, B, a Sphinx cat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Have you met a Sphinx cat before?
I have not. I don't hear anything good about them, but I think it'd be really cool to have one.
I would love to meet one.
Me too.
Because apparently you have to oil them because they dry out.
I hear that. I kind of ignore that in my head. Because if I get a Sphinx cat, I know I have to do it. I just don't want to accept the fact I have to oil my cat.
Would it be like zits?
I think so. I heard about that. I don't want to pop my cat's pimples.
Yeah.
I have a patch on it.
Put a pimple patch on your cat.
Yeah, it's not preferable, no.
Because then what if you don't? How dry will it get? I don't want to think about it too hard.
My skin gets dry in the winter. I cannot
exactly
imagine my cat.
The cat.
Yeah.
Can you let it outside? I
probably get taken.
Do you need
by
sunscreen for your cat? Yeah.
Yeah. Seriously, put some super goop on my cat.
I need to know a friend with a Sphinx cat so I can see it on the weekends and not have to worry about it, but still enjoy its presence.
And once you find a friend that has a Sphinx cat, let me know. And
and then we'll both visit.
Yeah, we'll come over.
The cat.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome answer.
Great. Yeah.
Ryan, do you have a favorite holiday?
Okay. This is kind of a controversial take.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say Thanksgiving. Not for the history, but
No.
purely for the fact that I love to be thankful. I
Really?
love good food. I love my
Mhm.
family. I love to really reflect on the past year about all the good things that are going on in my life. I feel like often I can be so kind of pessimistic about things going on,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it's good to just sit back and just, see and feel all the good things that are going on in my life.
Right. Do you find it often that it's easy for you to give thanks Like, do you feel blessed in your life?
I think more recently I've been trying harder to feel more blessed.
Yeah.
I have so much going for me at the end of the day. I have,
Right.
From a distance, I have no reason to complain.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been trying to be more grateful for everything. But
Yeah.
I think recent years I've been getting better.
Yeah, of course. Hey, it's always a journey that we're all on
It really
together.
is. It really
Yeah.
is.
Progress isn't linear, folks.
Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that. Maybe we will. Whoa.
Ooh.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Ryan, do you have a favorite number?
22.
22.
22.
Good number. What's the significance of 22?
When I was a
to you?
teenager, I thought that when I was 22, I'll get like my life figured out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now that you're approaching that, you're far closer to 22 than you have ever been in your entire life.
That
Do you
is
think
so
that's
true.
still a feasible goal?
Well, I think every year I'm going to figure it out. And then I kind of don't. So we're giving myself like a year and change to figure that one out. You know what? I'm going to say yeah.
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 You will have graduated college by then.
I will.
Yeah.
At the right age of 21, I'll be graduating college.
So you'll be in the workforce.
Hopefully.
Doing
this economy.
Changing the world. Yeah, and this.
Let's
Let's not get started on that because I won't stop. Okay.
Hey, it's kind of my major.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on all these recession indicators because
Don't get me started.
Yeah, it's tough stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, 22.
22.
Good answer. Yeah. Any sort of fondness to the Taylor Swift song?
There's a Taylor Swift song?
Wow. Yeah, there is. It's quite. She's like, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22.
Oh, TikTok song. Yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate your frame of reference for this popular radio hit from Taylor Swift.
She's on the radio. Oh.
It was on the radio when I was a kid. I don't know.
I mean, I think we're almost the exact same age, given a few months of change.
Yes,
Yeah.
and grew up in very similar areas.
Very similar
but
areas.
Isn't it surprising how different our experiences are?
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, because I know Taylor Swift and you do not.
I mean, I'm familiar with her.
Yeah, you know of.
I know of her. It's like a friend of a friend, you know.
You know how to ball. I know Aristotle. Another Taylor Swift lyric off of the Tortured Poets Department.
You know, did I tell you that my freshman year I wrote a 16-bar rap about the, I think it was Aristotle and the School of Athens.
Oh, was this for class or for pleasure?
It was for class because we had to write about the Renaissance.
Mhm.
And then they meant the Renaissance as like new beginnings, and I heard Renaissance as like Renaissance era.
Oh,
Yeah.
Did your rap go well? Was everybody like, this guy's got bars, or?
They still talk about it. Actually, no, I still talk about it. People go, Ryan, you can't keep bringing this up. But I still remember it.
But that was like a peak moment for you.
It was. You can find it on YouTube, I think.
It was recorded and posted?
Yes. No, it wasn't. Because a friend of mine, like his roommate was like watching old videos. Like, wait, that's Ryan? How do you know Ryan? Like, oh, we did this rap like freshman year. It's like, oh my god. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Great
Hey,
time.
we're in the studio right now, so after the episode's over, if you want to stick around, we can record it. Hopefully put it up.
Yeah, maybe. You know, you never know.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Hey, life gives you lemons in the most unexpected of times.
You gotta squeeze them, right?
Exactly.
That's what the expression is.
We're making juice.
That we are.
We're juicing it.
Lemonade.
All right. And our last question, for this week's Passion Probe is very specific to you and sort of to the topic that we're talking about. Okay. If there was one sport that you could be very proficient in, like sort of be like the Michael Jordan of basketball.
Okay.
But like you'd be the Ryan of, it could be basketball also, if you want to be better than Michael Jordan.
I think I would want to be like an Olympic triathlete.
Really?
Because like, name the 3 hardest things you can think of: running, biking, swimming. Now imagine being the best at all of those 3 things.
And then doing them together end to end to end?
Yeah, like I don't think I'd really enjoy it as much as I would enjoy telling people I do that.
Right. Oh, I'm the best triathlete in the world. Like, I can run miles faster than you. I can swim miles faster than you.
I'm like,
I can bike
I
miles.
can bike faster than you. But
would you apply that to other? Would you do like the Tour de France because you're the world's best triathlete? Like, because you bike so well?
Hey, one in Rome. I mean, one in France. So,
Right,
I mean,
exactly. And then you'd be like a Michael Phelps level swimmer because of your swimming prowess.
Yeah.
Would you be like a sprinter also in the? Because that's so many Olympic events is either running, biking, or swimming.
I think I would just do them all.
You just Is there a limit to how many events you can be entered in the Olympics? Has anybody?
I'm not sure. Well, if I train for all of them, I'm sure I'm bound to at least get one medal.
Yeah.
If it be like a niche sport, I'm sure I could, do fine.
That's good. You should do that. Like, find people would do that. Back in my high school, there's a club. I don't know if you're familiar. It's called the Future Business Leaders of America.
You were in that?
I was not.
Oh, okay.
But I thought about it because here's the thing: is there were so many events.
Yeah.
That like if you did Excel like as your event, like spreadsheet management or
like
whatever.
Excel, like Microsoft.
Yes, like Microsoft Excel was your thing. There were only 2 people in the entire state who did it, so you would automatically go to nationals and compete on the national level.
Where was I in high school?
I don't know because this feels like your jam. I thought
for sure is my jam.
Yeah, like Excel spreadsheet. Because I thought about doing some of like they had like an impromptu public speaking one, and I'm like,
that's right up your alley.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know anything about business, but I do know how to like spew garbage out of my mouth.
Yeah, it's your politics.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can win a crowd over. Let me do this. Exactly. I never did it because I was a busy bumblebee. But
you know how it is.
Yeah. But that's you need to find an Olympic sport that only 2 people do, so you can just get your guaranteed silver.
How do you get into bobsledding?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you have to go to like a really crazy high school in like Zurich. So yeah, you're really good at bobsledding.
Yeah, I was on my high school bobsled team actually.
Yeah,
I don't know where bobsled tracks are, like just regularly. Like where do you go to train?
Nordic countries, maybe.
Yeah. Europe.
Europe.
It's been years since I've seen Cool Runnings, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's true.
The quintessential piece of bobsled media.
Yeah, where's that at?
Yeah. Where's that energy? Disney.
We need to bring that back.
Hit me up. I'll reboot Cool Runnings. Anyways, all this talk of sports.
Yes.
All this talk of triathling. That's a verb that we use often. Yeah.
Yes.
We invented that. Pay us
Today,
royalties.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan, you're here to talk about sports in a sense.
In a way.
Ryan, what is your passion? What are you passionate about?
So, before I get into this, I'm going to preface this by saying I don't watch sports. So this may come as a shock to you.
Yeah.
Like, have I tuned in for the occasional Arsenal game? Of course. I can represent,
Yeah.
But I think throughout the year, I've sat through, give or take, 3 whole games across all sports.
Just all sports?
All sports.
Like live in person? Watched on TV or like been
on TV.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Super Bowl, I watched only half of it.
Oh, really?
The good half. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I want to get into is the use of statistics and economics in sports and the modern optimization problems that come from this.
I see.
Now, I kind of want to break this up into 2 real parts. I'm going to talk about, firstly, the core, the bulk of it.
Mm-hmm.
Stat heads, econ PhDs, and the use of, these optimization problems.
Right.
Then I want to talk about how this optimization is not just used in sports, but also throughout our daily lives, and how that this use of data, this wide, access to information is kind of like dulling the human experience.
Oh, okay.
How
interesting.
we're moving slowly away from the randomness of life, the human experience, and more into predictable paths that we can figure out through a linear regression analysis.
Wow.
But firstly, let's talk about those Yanks. All right?
Yeah.
They just won the last game. Is it the season? I don't even know. All right. But have you seen the movie Moneyball?
I have seen clips of Moneyball.
I have also seen clips. I've not seen the movie.
Awesome. Wonderful. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
So, for those who don't know, and maybe for
those who haven't seen Moneyball,
for those who have not seen this very, very famous movie with Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill.
Yes.
It's basically about, from my understanding, I haven't seen it.
2 people who have not seen Moneyball will explain the plot to you.
Moneyball. Yeah. So, huge grain of salt.
Yeah.
There's this, I believe, a economics PhD at Yale.
Mm-hmm. Played by Brad Pitt?
No, Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill, okay.
Brad Pitt's somebody. I don't know who he
probably
plays.
owns the A's or something.
My dad showed me the clip. It seemed pretty good. But,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's basically this baseball team that has no money, and they need to try to win.
Yeah.
And it's full of these older generation people that are more traditional way of scouting baseball. They're like, oh, this guy has a good build. He has a good forearm. He can bench 225 or 8 presses. I mean, he is the full build.
Mm-hmm.
But these Yale guys, we need to step away from these more traditional aspects of baseball and more onto the statistics of it. They want more time on base. You know, I think there's the one clip I've seen. It's he points at John Hill and it's like, oh, time on base. It all comes down to that. So I feel like after Moneyball, I don't feel like this. I know this.
You know this. This is
since
true.
2002, when Moneyball actually took place, the use of statistics and economics in sports has kind of, you know, spiraled into a new way of looking at sports. I feel like since then, we've been looking at sports in less of feel and less of a human, but more as numbers. I think a good example of this is that uppercut swings. Okay, now this is basically, you know, when someone's hitting a ball and they're trying to just do one thing, get a home run.
Home run, yeah.
Now, when looking at the data, they've realized that if you're playing baseball, you either strike out or you get a home run. That is the best way to win. Now, that's the best way to win, statistically speaking.
Yeah.
Every team in the MLB, is going to do the strat. Only makes sense. It's the optimal way of playing the game. It's the optimal way to win.
Right.
Now, if every single team in the MLB is doing the exact same strat, you're watching a game where you know what's coming.
Right.
You know?
Right.
You, like, oh, there's no bunting. There's no stealing bases. There's just...
I'm going to hit a home run.
There's just home runs.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, home run. Let's go. Like, high-fiving your buddy next to you. I mean, you still do that, but it's like, it's a little blasé at this point, you know?
Yeah,
everyone's doing home run.
It's,
oh, another home run.
Great.
But I feel like it's more based on the idea of like a model than it is like more their gut. It's all this access to information, all this access to statistics is really dulled the sport of baseball. And I think if you want to go further, basketball. We all love basketball.
We love basketball. We love LeBron.
We love
the
LeBron.
Lakers.
We love the Lakers.
Yeah.
I mean, who else plays basketball?
There's other teams. Yeah.
There's no way we're qualified to be talking about sports right now. But I think since before Moneyball, basketball teams, they really, you know, they looked at stats, of course, but it was more in terms of points scored, rebounds, assists. Traditional.
Yeah.
Since then, 3 things they were looking at: 3-pointers, layups, and free throws. Those are the 3 things that score the most points. Those are the things that optimize your wins at the end of the day if you are playing basketball. Now, I mean, from my personal opinion, those are 3 things that I'm good of seeing, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
There's no half-court shots anymore. I mean,
no, what's that about?
Like, is that fun to watch? For sure.
Yeah.
I'll take a 3-pointer. I'll take a layup. Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's whatever. But, I mean, the mid-range jumper, extinct. You know?
Yeah.
You don't see that anymore. And I think if we want to go further onto like maybe a sport that I'm a little more familiar with.
Of course.
We're talking about Premier League. We're talking about football. We're talking about soccer. Okay. Now, my dad, my father, huge Arsenal fan. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you're unaware, Arsenal is a football league based out of, I want to say, North London.
Okay.
Yeah. They're number 2 in the league right now. They're pretty good.
Not bad.
They're actually really good.
Yeah.
Okay. And Premier League and Champions League and, you know, these sports is all in the recent years, past 20 years, they have been collecting data on these players nonstop. There's these websites you can look up any team, any player, and figure out how long they have had their foot on the ball since their entire season, how many points they've scored, how many assists they have, how many times they've passed it to another person. You have everything. Now, it comes down to this. It comes down to realistically expected goals and expected assists. When you know the amount of goals a person has done in the season, the amount of seasons people have done per game, you're able to build these mathematical models to predict who's going to score the most, who's going to assist the most, given a certain amount of people. Now, I think that, you know, this is my topic here, but I think soccer is the worst example of this because I feel like soccer is just built around assists and goals, and that's it.
Yeah.
But I think going back to the idea of baseball, basketball, these are sports that statistics have really dulled the senses in a way. But I want to move a little bit past just standard sports. Talk about something that, you know, I know a little more about.
Yeah.
I'm talking life. I'm talking living. I'm talking about
life
daily aspects.
Yeah.
Let's look at social media. Okay? You know social media.
Yeah.
You know, okay, name a social media platform right now.
Snapchat, Instagram,
Thank you.
Facebook.
Instagram. It's a great example.
Yeah, thank you. Of course.
Of course.
Facebook, Twitter,
Yes.
Bumble.
Now, I want you to think about Instagram for a second.
I'm thinking about Instagram.
Wait, Bumble?
Is that social
Is
media?
that social media?
I think that might be a dating app.
I think that's for sure a dating app.
So I'm not on Bumble. You will not find me on Bumble.
Hmm.
Unless I should be on
You
Bumble.
should be on Bumble.
I'll look into that after this.
Yeah, maybe you should bring someone on and talk about Bumble.
I will. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll talk about Bumble.
Yeah.
I'm going to start today, come back a year from now. I will have found true love on Bumble.
You know, actually, there's a really interesting article I read about dating apps and the use of statistics. Yeah. I would tell you, but I kind of forgot about the topic.
Oh,
But
okay.
The point
Awesome.
is, back to what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, think on social media.
Yes.
What's the main thing they want you to do? They want you to maximize time on site.
Yeah.
Remember when you used to go to Instagram, you go to your homepage, and you slide down, see all the new posts, and then you says, oh, you're out of new posts. Remember
That makes me sad. Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
What happened to that?
They started just putting random stuff in my feed.
My explore page.
Yeah, they just bled it over.
Yeah.
It's like, here's everything. They actually don't tell me anymore when I'm out of the stuff with my friends.
I don't know who I follow anymore.
Exactly. It's just, and then I'm starting to follow people that I don't know, and it's like, why'd I follow you? Now I'm embarrassed.
How's that unfollow you? Yeah.
Yeah. This is weird.
And that goes like the idea of the For You page, the explore page.
Yeah.
It knows you better than you know yourself.
Right. Twitter added a For You page.
Like what?
Yeah, I look at that more than I look at my following because it knows how to.
It knows me.
It knows how to get my dopamine receptors to like.
Yeah.
It's like whoa.
It's like, I see like I open my For You page and it's like a sushi place in like Williamsburg, and it's like I don't know, a statistics meme.
Yeah, and I'm
right
like,
up
this
my
is really
alley.
funny. This is
Yeah,
great
it's
stuff.
great. But I think, look at the TikTok For You page. Are you in TikTok?
I do dabble. I'm on TikTok a lot.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And you know how your For You page is so curated that you see something and it's like, this has 152 likes, and I find this so funny. This is the best. This is made for me.
Yeah. Well, recently I was, if you're familiar with the recording artist Benson Boone, I think he's a funny man.
I'm familiar.
I think he's a funny man. I don't listen to his music, but I think like the concept of him is interesting. And
Yeah.
he has a pretty strong social media presence. He's got a pretty fun social media presence.
Okay.
So one of my friends hates him. So I send them a video of Benson Boone. And then like another one shows up, and I send another one. I send another one. Send another one. And then I sent one video one time that was like a niche joke about his upcoming unreleased single.
Yeah.
Now released, Mystical Magical, stream on all platforms.
This is an
Shut
ad.
up. Yeah, Benson Boone has paid me off. He did a flip, and now I owe him my life.
You do.
I sent this video about this niche thing that was like, this is a really specific joke. And then they responded like, you're sending me videos with less than 500 likes now. You're in way too deep for this bit. And I'm like, wait, I need to like take a step back and be like, wow, I've gone too deep.
Yeah.
And those are always my favorite videos because it's got 0 likes and it's just a guy in his house with music. Like, I'm like, I don't know what you're like. It was meant for me to see this.
There's a video I saw. It's this guy who's probably about 56.
Mm-hmm.
He's in his random house. He's listening to the album Mac and Marco by Days on vinyl and pouring off espresso. It's like 180 likes. I'm like, that's going to be me in 45 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that chilling?
If that's my future, it's bright.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much, right?
Yeah. Like the read was scary, but like that's peaceful knowing that's comforting.
I mean, speaking of the read, I feel like TikTok especially, they have so much data about you.
Right.
Do you know how much I would pay if someone were to summarize all the data into a book and that's about me? I probably know
To read? Yeah.
It's like, sure, therapy helps you understand yourself on a deeper level.
Yeah.
But I think a TikTok algorithm, and all your data and talking to you about yourself, you learn so much way more.
Yeah. Well, I guess this sort of refers to everything you've talked about.
Yeah.
Do you think the complexity of humanity can be distilled into statistics, like given a large enough sample size? Like over the course of your life, you will do the same things so many times. So do you think you can make Ryan a statistic? Like, can you distill that down to, I know what I'm going to do because every Monday I wake up and I go get coffee. So statistically speaking, I will do that next week, and I will do that. Like, do you think that it is possible or I guess effective to use that method of thinking when dealing with humans?
I think it's a really interesting question because I think of that myself. I'm a very structured person. I do more or less the same thing on a given day. I mean, it's probably like once a weekend I go walk myself over to the Bagelers. I go get
Bagelers Coffee House, shout out.
So good.
Wonderful establishment.
It's so good. I always get a lox bagel, sesame, blueberry muffin, 20-ounce black cold brew, right?
Wow. Yeah.
I go there so often. The person took me on says, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I should remember your name by now." Oh, dude, I gotta stop going there. I'm going there way too much.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that now there's a lot of data around this. My location is easily tracked, whether that be through Google Maps or Life 360 or something.
Yeah.
It knows where I'm going. It knows where I stop for about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
My Chase account knows exactly how much I pay and where I'm paying it on a given day.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure there's some database out there that's like, I can probably predict that Ryan's going to go to the Bagelers on Saturday or Sunday morning between the hours of 10 to 1 p.m. Now, is this good? Is this good that we have this data? I don't know. Is that the question?
Who's to say? I think it's interesting. The concept is so fascinating to me that like you can use, if you have a large enough sample size, you can use the power of statistics to like predict the future.
Yeah.
And like that's what we're seeing in these sports things. And I don't know, because like you were talking about like, do you think this is a valid strategy if I own a football club?
Yeah.
And I see a player and I'm like, this player's been playing, let's say 5 years.
Yeah.
Every season, on average, he has scored 100 goals. Is that feasible?
You're asking the wrong guy.
All right. That's okay. So on average, he scored 100 goals. So I know, okay, for my next season, I'm getting 100 goals out of this guy. I want to pick up this new player.
Probably not 100 goals. I'm just thinking about that right now.
Yeah, This guy has scored. This guy's really good.
Yeah,
this guy's really, really good.
25 goals per game. Yeah.
Exactly. He's wonderful.
Yeah.
So this guy on average scores 100 goals. So I know next season, putting 100 goals in my pocket, I've got that.
Yeah.
Could I get another player and be like, oh, on average, this person scores 50 goals. Perfect. I have 100 goals. And I get these players together and I put my team statistically up to everybody else's teams, and my numbers are simply better.
Yeah.
Like my team's average is 200 goals a season. Your team's 130.
Yeah.
Your team's 120. Would that win the game? Like, do you like?
It should. It should win the game because statistically speaking, you are more likely to win. You have more goals per person. You have better assists. But you have to remember, these aren't robots.
Right.
These are human beings. These are people who might not get along with their their co-players. They might have gone through a nasty divorce.
That's true.
They could be having a bad season. Maybe they sprain their Achilles. Not that you can do that. But like the point, can you?
Yeah, you can tear it. I don't know if you can sprain it.
Unless it's sprained.
Tears a lot.
Yeah,
that's your Achilles can snap at any moment.
Yeah, that's my Achilles heel.
Yeah.
But the point is that you can want something to happen so bad and you can price it in perfectly, but it's not guaranteed because we're the only human at the end of the day.
Right.
And this goes back to my main idea is that we're relying so much on data. We're relying so much on statistics to come up with the best possible route for life. I mean, I can open, an AI platform right now and figure out the best path from me right now in undergrad and college to the president of the United States.
Yeah.
And this will be using data from past presidents, past politicians, what they've done, what clubs they're in, to then. That's more likely to be in because there's past data to prove that. Now, is that right? Should I be living by a play-by-play book? Is that even human to do? I feel like we've gone so far with data that we're losing the plot. We're losing the plot of life. There's no randomness anymore. There's no question. You can kind of predict what's to come. You can kind of expect what's to come just by past data. And there's no human exploration anymore.
I think this is interesting also when you look at like the current epidemic of sports gambling.
Oh, 100%.
And this idea, because that, again, all statistic. It's like
100%.
X amount % that this is going to happen in the game and this is going to happen. And people are doing it because it makes the games more exciting.
Yeah.
But we're just layering on more statistics.
Yeah.
Like it's just fascinating to me. I don't know.
I mean,
like
a parlay at the end of the day.
Yeah,
that's just statistic of a statistic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean,
is that what we have to do to make the game interesting again? Like, is this the dystopia we live in?
Have you ever bet on a sport?
Horse racing only.
Now, did it make it more fun?
Yeah, that's the only way horse racing is enjoyable. Come on, I don't want to watch them run.
Like, oh,
I like this one's quick, but this one's I got my money on that horse.
Yeah. I feel like sports it's interesting. It's fun to have a team to root for. It's fun to have pride in your team.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not like super into sports, betting makes it fun. I mean, you put $20 on, the Cubs to win. You're never more passionate about the Cubs in your life.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
I feel like with the use of betting too, it's a different box of frogs in terms of just sports and sports gambling.
Mm-hmm.
But where was I even going with this?
Statistics and everything. We're losing the plot. We lost the plot right there because we got so deep in the statistics.
Back to the plot.
Yeah.
Every year, hundreds of these PhDs in statistics, applied mathematics, operations research, economics,
mm-hmm.
from these top universities, they are looking for jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know who's hiring them?
Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Buffalo Bills, FanDuel, Pinterest. They are figuring out the best way to win and to tie people in. We're just cogs,
in the machine.
We're just data points.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think this is like I find the school of thought of like determinism very interesting. Like the idea that our decisions are already set before we make them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think statistics is like the easiest way to look at like say that like, oh, this theory has legs and this is like we can know.
Yeah.
But nothing has ever been 100%.
No.
Which is close. Like the interesting piece. Yeah. But never 100, like, because we never know.
Yeah.
Because we never had, like, humanity, actually, I mean, eventually the sun will explode and then everything will be over. But, like, this isn't a closed survey. Like, we will keep going. We'll keep, like.
Yeah, life will move on, even if we're not there.
It persists. Yeah. Nevertheless, we persisted.
Of course.
So it's like, it's hard, and I guess like just still like even more. That's what makes life fun and worth living.
Yeah,
like that's what makes it interesting. But like that never knowing is fascinating.
Are you afraid of the unknown?
I think so, but one thing about me, I'm a double-edged sword. One edge of the sword is I do appreciate comfort.
Of course.
And I appreciate structure and like stability. The other side is I constantly yearn for change and new experience. Like I cannot stay in the same place for too long.
100%.
Because I need to like run around.
Yeah.
But then like also whenever I enter a new environment, I'm like, wow, this is the scariest thing I've ever done. Who are these people?
Yeah.
I'm scared. So it's interesting. I have a strange relationship with that. I feel so many different ways, so deeply. But
I feel like it's so comforting to know what the future holds.
Yeah.
And you can do everything in your power, price everything in accordingly to get where you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
But it's never guaranteed.
It's not.
And I think at the end of the day, that's just the truth. That's something I need myself. Like myself, I need to understand.
Yeah.
It's just, you can do everything you want, everything accordingly, but it's never guaranteed. There's always that epsilon variable. Sorry to,
we're dropping the epsilon variable. We're dropping the
epsilon in chat,
for you
guys.
stat heads out there.
For you stat heads,
Yeah.
There's always that epsilon variable that it's going to be the unknown. It's going to be that variable that we can't account for.
Exactly.
And I think just the point of it all is that, of course, data is important. Of course, statistics help us answer these questions we can't understand, but what happened to life?
Right.
What happened to just a day by day? What happened to waking up and just seeing where life takes you?
Right. Well, I think this is the issue we've run into, and it's interesting because humanity has lived enough life to like have resigned itself to these patterns. Because like again, you live enough life, and you're like, well, I already know what's going to happen, and I know what I'm going to do, and it's the safety and the comfort of knowing, of like, oh, this Sunday, I'm going to go to church. I'm going to get out. Then I'm going to go clean my garden.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to go watch my favorite episode of my favorite television.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go to sleep and go to work tomorrow.
This is your typical Sunday, I'm assuming, right?
This is what I do every Sunday.
Yeah.
I clean my garden.
Go
I
to
watch
church.
TV.
Yeah.
Go to church. I worship. Very important to
Very
me.
important.
Yeah. Actually, Sunday's a great TV day for me because the rehearsal is releasing on Max.
What's the rehearsal?
The hit Nathan Fielder show.
Oh,
Would
I'm
recommend.
familiar with Nathan Fielder.
Yes. And also, that's when Last Week Tonight with John Oliver also airs.
My parents love that.
It's a wonderful show. That's when The White Lotus was airing, but sadly they took
What a
that
great
from
show.
us.
We were actually talking about this before the podcast.
Yeah, if you were wondering why we may or may not have been a little late to air today, we got deep into The White Lotus.
And let me speak on this real fast. The season's ranked in order 2, 3, 1.
And I said 2-1-3. So
And
we're
I
having a
said-
little bit of discourse.
Very controversial take. I think season 1 is a little boring.
And I said season 1 set the mold, so the other seasons could break it. I think it's fine on its own.
Yeah.
But
the point is
on Sundays.
On
On Sundays. Yeah, I don't, because if I'm gonna pick your brain a little bit here.
Please.
Next time you go to the bagler, are you gonna order the lox bagel?
Yes.
Why? Because
That's a good question.
this is a phenomenon I run into. There's a restaurant I like. I don't go there often, but I do go there semi-often.
What's the restaurant?
Just often. Hypothetical.
Hypothetical restaurant?
Yeah, this is hypothetical,
Yeah, it's
but
not a restaurant.
okay.
Okay.
I go to the Taco Bell off of Armitage Avenue at least 2 to 3 times every single week.
You do?
I do. They know me by
2
name.
to 3
there.
times a week?
Yes.
Okay, going on.
Anyways, and I usually always get the same thing. Build your own cravings box, Crunchwrap Supreme, beefy 5-flavor burrito, Fiesta potatoes, Baja Blast. Carries the most value out of anything on the menu. That's why I get it.
How do you calculate value?
It is $6 for those 4 items. All the other combo boxes retail for around $7.99, $8.99, in that range. The items within them, it's usually one premium item, like some limited time thing, and then 2 tacos.
So
That's variety. And the individual Crunchwrap Supreme, usually priced around $5.49, $6. So instead of buying a Crunchwrap Supreme, I buy Crunchwrap Supreme with 3 other things for the same price.
So you optimize.
I've optimized it. It is
Full
purely
circle.
exactly. So I go here all the time. But there's this thing that I encounter, less so with Taco Bell because I think I go there too much that I need to switch it up.
Yeah, probably should.
Yeah, which I do. Black bean crunch wrap is really in, because right now I'm doing black bean crunch wrap, cheese and rice burrito,
Staple.
Fiesta potatoes, Baja Blast.
I've actually only
always.
Taco Bell once in my life.
We should fix that.
Do you know when it was?
When
After Mess Fest.
wow, that's
Yeah.
beautiful. That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
It was actually the one you actually no, it wasn't. It was off Belmont.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can tell you all my stories about the Belmont Taco Bell. There's a reason I prefer the Armitage, but that's a passion project for its own day. All that being said, when you go to a restaurant, let's say you're at the Bagelers once a week, right?
Yes.
I don't think that's often enough for you to get sick of your preferred order.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that's often enough. What are you doing?
Let's do 4 times a week.
What are you doing? Yeah, you could be there 7 days a week. Okay.
Bagel every single day. $20 every single breakfast.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. So you're not there often enough
Yeah.
to get sick of your order.
I suppose.
But you are there often. Do you ever feel the pull to try something? Because it's the comfort of knowing you're going in and you're
Yeah.
I'm getting my favorite meal. I'm getting my favorite food here. Wonderful. Awesome. But I feel the pressure sometimes when I go to a place I don't go to often to be I should try something new. But the reason I go, I always go to, whenever I go to Panda Express, I get the orange chicken. Because that's why I'm going there. But
Yeah.
should I try something new? I always do the same thing.
I should probably preface this with this.
Mhm.
I don't always get the lox bagel. It's
Interesting.
the lox bagel or it's the bageler, which if I'm familiar, it's egg and maybe bacon. I don't know. It's good.
good.
But
Yeah.
do I want meat or do I want fish in the morning?
Fish is
Either
not
or.
meat. Let's make that
Let's
clear.
make it clear. Yes.
Fish is not real meat.
It's either or. Those are the only
Yes.
2 things I would ever get
Okay.
that I would personally buy. I'm gonna take a bite of someone's But those are things I would buy for myself.
Yeah.
And back to your main question, is it because it's comforting? Of course. Of course, these are bagels that I can go home to. I can go to the bagel shop down the street in, the old DG, and I'm able to, like, get a lox bagel. I'm able to get a sausage bagel.
Yeah.
But, I mean, are we losing the plot again?
Maybe. Because, like, that's what I would argue, like, because, like, statistics gamifies everything.
Yeah, it does.
In a way. Because, like, the statistical thinking would be, like, because this is something I think about a lot.
Yeah.
It's like, could
you
know you or understand you simply by looking, like, at a graph, a chart of your behaviors? Like, looking at, like, if somebody, again, all this data your apps are capturing on you. If somebody printed out all the data and showed it to me, do you think I could get an accurate representation of you as a person?
I think it depends on the data. I think if it's like a
purely step count every day.
Like, well, this guy gets walking.
This guy knows how to walk.
This guy walks.
He's walking it.
I think if you were to look at data across every aspect of my life, for my entire life, you'd be able to paint a perfect picture of me. I think if it was, if you looked at my like data for ChatGPT, you'd be like, this guy asks a lot of questions about econometrics.
Yeah.
Or he's trying to really optimize his running routine right now. Sure, it's a part of me, but, like, is that who I am?
Right.
It's a part of me, sure, but it's not who I am.
So would you argue then we are defined not by, like, the outcome, like our statistics, but rather the outliers? The one time you don't get a salmon bagel. One time you don't get that bagler signature. Well, the one time get a jalapeno cheddar bagel with cream cheese. You really switch it up that day.
That's really crazy.
Yeah.
There's actually in math and economics, we just get rid of those. The outliers.
Yeah, it's just like something must have gone wrong. This doesn't.
It's the data's not correct. Like, if I get a lox bagel every week for 5 months, and one day I get a jalapeno bagel, that can't be right.
There's no way feasibly that could happen. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but at the end of the day, we're not data points.
Right.
We're human, living beings. That what if we want to go crazy and have a jalapeno bagel?
Right.
So to your point, I think we are those random variables. I think we are those days where we mix it up, do something different, because we have free will.
Right.
Do we have free will?
Maybe. That's not our passion for today.
Yeah.
But I think that's what's really interesting. And I think that's why sports still entertaining. Like I said before, I cannot put a team together based off of numbers and have them win because of the outliers.
Yeah.
Because something could go wrong. Something I always found fascinating about baseball is when a player makes a mistake on the field, it is officially categorized as an error.
Yeah.
Like, if you drop the ball when you shouldn't have, they say that should not have happened. Like, statistically, that should not have happened.
Yeah.
You should have gotten the out here, and that was just an error in, like, the programming of baseball.
Yeah.
Which I think is so interesting that this field of statistics, this field of mathematics, wants to, like, smooth everything out.
Smoothing data. That's a great term.
Yeah, and us as people, we're not smooth. No.
We have all the information we want, but we're just not going to understand it. I mean, I think it's kind of like an esoteric example. Have you seen the clip of Timothy Chalamet during, I think it's college basketball season, and he's just running through the stats of all these college basketball teams, and he's getting them on the dot. Like, he's hitting them all. He's saying words that I didn't even know I could include in my vernacular.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I didn't know much about basketball. Now, he can say all this stuff, this much about sports, but is he going to get it right?
Who knows?
We're only human.
Yeah.
We're not statistics.
Yeah. Timothy Chalamet, I think, is the closest to perfect you can get. But even then, he makes mistakes. He lost that Oscar.
Yeah, you did.
That he did.
He won that one award, though.
He did. He wants to be one of the greats.
One of the greats.
And he will. Just you wait. Watch this little boy. Watch him go.
Yeah. Is there a picture of him out there?
Yeah, there is. There's a picture of him in the studio.
That caught my eye.
Yeah, it's been there as long as I've been here. So it's quite beautiful.
Yeah.
The Lisan Al Gaib, if you will. I've never seen Dune.
Is that what it is? I've never seen Dune either.
Yeah,
I was like, is that an art piece or something? Or
Thank you. No, thank you so much. Every single time somebody comes on here with a cultural reference, specifically movies, they're like, "Have you seen this movie?" I'm like, "No." And I'm like, so glad we can be real about this.
Do you have a lot of film majors on?
Oh my God, have I ever had a film major on this show? No, I don't think so.
You're blessed.
Thank goodness for
Thank
that. Yeah. It's an eclectic mix.
Yeah, I watch 4 movies a year, and one of them is one I've already seen before. At least 2.
I like that. I like that for you.
Yeah.
What is the most recent movie you've seen?
I saw Queer.
Oh yes, we were talking about this with Daniel Craig. Yeah.
I don't understand it though. I didn't get it. It was very.
It's like it's art.
Their hearts were like coming out of their body.
Wow.
Like it was like a frog, like a frog, and like they had a giant.
Yeah.
It was like that with their heart.
Wow.
The first chapter of the movie, I understood it. After that, I was lost.
And they got weird.
It was. Yeah, it was really artsy.
Yeah. Do you have Letterboxd?
No.
Oh, yeah, fair. If you only watch 4 movies a year, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, before that, I was probably The Big Short for the 4th time.
Oh, awesome. Hey, that's a classic.
I love The Big Short.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're a man of arts and culture as well. And that's how you keep your life fresh and exciting.
Watching The Big Short 4 times.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, let's talk about the statistics of you watching The Big Short. Why do you go back to it? Statistically speaking.
It's a classic.
That's 1.
2. I took a whole class about what they're talking about, so I understand it.
Awesome. Is that surrounding the 2008 crisis?
Yeah, it's about this hedge fund who shorts the housing market.
Got it.
Everyone fails except them because they saw it coming.
Wow.
No one else did.
The Big Short.
The Big Short. They shorted it.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Actually, fun fact, I was thinking of topics for your podcast, and one of them was going to be processions.
I know. That was something we lightly talked about
Everyone
earlier.
shot it down and said, don't do that. It's super boring.
Wow.
And I brought up this topic. I said, that's also really boring, Ryan.
But this has been a fantastic episode. Like, I hate to say we're around the final corner, like it's nearly done, but this has been a wonderful
already?
time. Yeah, that's it already.
Man, time flies when you're talking numbers.
Exactly.
Crunching numbers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One of these shows I'm just gonna count like the seconds of the show until it's over. I think that'd be a good one.
I think you should indulge in that idea.
Yeah. My passion is
counting.
Yeah.
How many digits of pi do you know?
3.14.
Good one.
And then it keeps going for a while. So
yeah, eventually actually doesn't stop.
Yeah, I don't think it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. One of my teachers said pi is the equivalent of 22 divided by 7, and I think that's empirically false.
Let's see if that's right actually.
Because I don't actually, triangles and circles are fascinating, but
3.14. That's not right.
Yeah,
it's 3.142857, but pi is 3.141592653.
Exactly. See, I knew you were the right guy for this.
Your teacher's wrong.
Yeah, and that's where this is a call out. Yeah, I don't remember who it was, but when I find you,
hey, was it high school?
No, it was like middle school.
Hey, that middle school teacher from
Round Lake, Illinois.
Round Lake, Illinois.
Yeah, if you're
count
there.
your days if you can.
Yeah,
if you can't count.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that'll be tough.
Yeah,
I like that. That was good. All right.
All right.
And that's the perfect place to close it. Ryan, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me, Payne. This has been a real great time.
It has. Any last thoughts, shout outs you want to give?
I like to final thoughts. Keep in mind all that data about you. Are you more human than data?
Mm-hmm.
Make more informed decisions. I'd like to give a shout out to Moneyball. I have not seen it, but I will see it for inspiring me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and thank you, Payne. I appreciate it.
Of course. And we couldn't do this without our valued listener. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you as well.
Wholly and truly. Yes. We won't be here next week. Sorry, I have a life.
Bummer.
But we will be back.
It's Mother's Day, right?
It is Mother's Day. My mom is gone.
Yeah.
She's still around.
Oh.
She's just not going to be. I won't see her that weekend.
Shout out my mom.
Shout out moms. Shout out moms everywhere.
I love my mom.
I do love my mom also.
Yeah.
We have that in common.
I'm glad we have that in common.
Yeah, that's something we bonded over.
Yeah.
All right.
The one
so, yeah. Next week, instead of listening to the show, go tell your mom you love her.
Go talk to her. Have a conversation with her.
Yeah.
Take her to brunch.
Mm-hmm.
Make her brunch.
She misses you.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Do that, listener, and then we'll be back the week after with some wonderful programming you won't want to miss. This has been Passion Project. Thank you again, Ryan.
Thank you for having me.
And stay passionate, y'all. And that's how you do it.
That was...
And that's how you do it.
Wow.